Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today I have this Mazda CX-5 and I got this car from my friends at the car set, and I wanted to drive this car for a long time, but well, I didn't have the chance to until today, and I'm pleasantly surprised with this car because well, it exceeded my expectations. So let's get started with this car. The Mazda CX-5, which is a brilliant compact crossover SUV, and today this car actually made my day because, well, it's my first time when I'm driving a Mazda compact crossover, and well, it's just been a hoot. Well, first of all, it's a all-wheel drive 2.2 diesel engine with a manual 6-speed gearbox, which means that this car is very fun to drive, and actually it feels very sporty. This is a brilliant car, and if they would have tweaked a bit some things on it, I think it would have been the perfect crossover to have. But there are some things with this car, and I'm gonna mention them through the video, starting with the front end of the Mazda. Well, this looks quite aggressive. You have these sleek headlights and this front grille of this car. Well, it looks like a pointy nose, but actually it looks aggressive. In my opinion, this looks a little bit like a cheetah. Now, the front end looks aggressive. It has these sleek headlights and they have big xenon on them, which they provide a good visibility on nighttime. But also the front grille looks cool, and in the front grille you have integrated the parking sensors and of course the Mazda logo, which looks quite cool over there. The front bumper is aggressive, has these air intakes that gives the car a sporty feel, and also the lines of the hood aligns perfectly with the front end of the car, giving it a sense of sportiness as much as it can. Now from the side you immediately notice the sleek silhouette shape of this car, and is a little bit slopey towards the rear end, which gives it a sense of dynamism and a sense of motion even when the car is standing still. And you have these 19-inch alloy wheels that also look cool and modern on this car and gives it a very muscular stance as well. Also, the beautiful lines that they are on the side of the car emphasizes the sportiness of it. I mean, it feels sporty, it looks sporty, and honestly, I think it's one of the sportiest cars in its segment. Well, between me and you, it's a little bit sportier than the Tucson and the Sportage, and also the Ford Escape. But honestly, it looks quite sporty in this car. The rear end looks quite cool. You have these taillights that surround also the sides of the car, and they have this 3D shape. Now, they are not LEDs, which is a shame because it could have provided, well, a more sense of modernism to this car, but instead they are normal tail lights, but they look cool. Anyway, in the rear end you have a rear view camera, which is shown in this infotainment system right over here, and you have a roof spoiler, which emphasizes the sportiness of this car. Also, you get a twin exhaust, which I don't have to tell you that this is one of my favorite things, and this twin exhaust emphasizes the sportiness of this car as well. Jumping in the interior of this car, you are greeted with high quality materials. The dashboard has a soft material on it. It's not leather, but it's not plastic either. The seats are covered in leather, and the leather is soft, and they are brilliant. These seats are very comfortable, and they have this red stitching on the side that gives the car a sporty sense. Also, the seats are electrically adjustable with memory and also heated, which is a plus for this car. One thing that I want to mention is the Bose sound system, which sounds incredibly good. The sound system of this car is brilliant. Honestly, they put a lot of options in this car, and something that honestly I like it. So front seats, you have an armrest over here, and inside the armrest you have a USB auxiliary jack, and also this little tray probably to put your cards or some loose change. But also you have a power socket over here. Now you have a power socket underneath here as well. And well, one annoying thing, you have only one cup holder. I tried to look for the other one, but I didn't find it. Why would you have only one cup holder in this car? Because obviously you have two seats in front, and I don't understand why you have only one cup holder, but well, that's what you have. Now let's discuss about the whole ambient of the car. This car fits 5 adults with ease. You have plenty of legroom, plenty of headroom, and plenty of space. Even though it's a small crossover, well, middle crossover, because it's not that small, it's not that big, but it's kind of in the middle segment, you have decent amount of room in this car, decent amount of cargo space in the boot. And also in the whole car you have a lot of storage compartments, like in the door side you have some pockets over here for, well, if you want to place a bottle, not a big bottle, you cannot place a 1 liter bottle over here because it's gonna hit right over here, but you can place some half a liter bottles in the door sides. Now what I like about the door sides is that they have leather over here, giving the car a very luxurious feel. In the rear seats you have 2 cup holders, and also the rear seats are very comfortable. One thing that it misses, you don't have any air vents for the rear passengers, which this can be annoying because it's kind of a biggish car and you need air to breathe. So in order for the rear people, for your rear passengers to breathe, you have to put a very high amount of air through the air vents in front. So this is gonna be a little bit uncomfortable for you and for your front passenger. Maybe it's gonna be hot for you and cold for them, or it's gonna be cold for you and hot for them. So this is one annoying thing. Now another annoying thing on this car is the infotainment system, which I'm gonna talk about right now. You also have a touchscreen over here, and well, this one is very responsive. You have Bluetooth audio. You don't have DAB radio, which is odd, but still you have a CD, which you can put right here, an auxiliary jack, and as I mentioned, Bluetooth audio. But I want to go into the infotainment system of the car, and for that I have to use the controls that they are down here. From here you adjust the infotainment system of the car. Even though it is a touchscreen, you do need to press these buttons over here, and you can adjust it from this joystick here. Right here you see we have this setting of this car. The infotainment system looks, well, a little bit like Mario games. It feels a little bit dated. I don't know why, but certainly this is how it appears to me. So let's see what it hides. So first of all, if we go into the display, we're gonna see that we have the brightness, day and night, auto, and well, that's kind of it. Let's go into the vehicle settings, and in the vehicle settings we have doors, we have lights, we have wipers. If we go into the lights, we can see that we have the high beam control, we have the automatic lights, turn signal, 3 times flash, and some things regarding the light inside the car. But other than that, there's nothing much here. So if we go into the system again, you can actually see that there's nothing really much to be adjusted, and this is, well, a little bit disappointing because they could have done this a little bit better, but well, it's what it is. So if we go into the navigation, this navigation is from TomTom, which is not a surprise for Mazda. It looks as an old sat-nav system, even though this car is a 2015 car. I have to tell you that the infotainment system of this car, even though it is a touchscreen and things like that, it's not something that I really like about it. So yes, they could have done a better job here. Now I want to mention the gauge cluster, because there are some things that you may want to take a look at, and I find them quite interesting. The gauge cluster is very simple, and you don't have too many options on it either. This is an analog cluster, and it looks sporty. It has a white light pattern and I like it, but seems a little bit dated as well. And here in this little screen over here, you can actually see the fuel consumption and a couple of more information here, like consumption, range. Okay, let's go into the settings. You have speed alarm, reset averages. This one is a very interesting: smart city brake support, lane departure warning system, which this car has, a rear vehicle monitoring because it has a rear view camera, maintenance, and well, optional screen. This is something to adjust from here, it's gonna show you a couple of things, but overall the gauge cluster is quite basic. I think they could have improved it a little bit here, at least with a colored screen. The steering wheel of the car looks good. It has this red stitching over here to emphasize the sportiness of the car. You have the controls for the radio, for the infotainment screen over there, and also for the little gauge cluster screen over there. Here you have the cruise control, and here you have the changing programs on the radio or on the Bluetooth, and of course voice control, which, well, I've never used voice control in any car. Here you have the controls for your phone, and well, this is pretty much it. But overall the steering wheel looks quite cool and has this aluminum trim here that emphasizes the sportiness of this car as well. Let's discuss about the climate controls of this car. First of all, there you have dual climate controls, which is quite cool. You have heated seats, and I like this orange light over here. Looks a little bit dated, the font looks a little bit dated, but I have to tell you that I like it. Looks cool for me. You have these dials over here which are covered in this aluminum trim, which gives the car a very luxurious feel, but also this is more of a sporty feel, not a luxurious. This car, even though it has leather and aluminum everywhere, and of course this piano black over here, doesn't feel very elegant. It feels very sporty. But nevertheless, I do like how the climate controls look, and this aluminum over here really makes my day. I got this car from my friends at CarZ. CarZ are a specialized second-hand car dealership located in Ipswich. All the cars come with 6 months RAC warranty, which is extendable up to 3 years. If you want to part exchange your car, they can help you with that. If you have a low credit score and you need finance, CarZ are your guys. And if you want your car to be delivered all the way across UK, CarZ will do that for you. Also, they were awarded by Auto Trader for their excellent customer service, so check them out at carz.co.uk. The engine on this car is a 2.2 diesel engine which has 148 horsepower, 380 newton meters, goes from 0 to 60 in 9.4 seconds. It has a 6-speed manual gearbox and a fuel consumption of around 60 miles per gallon outside town. But also what is cool about this car is that it's an all-wheel drive, which means that you can toss it around and it's gonna stay there. It's very fun to drive on countryside roads, and it's very nice to drive even in towns. But I drove this car outside town and it was brilliant. The suspension is good, it's not harsh, even though you have 19-inch wheels on it. It's still a very comfortable car, and the fact that the gear shifter has this short ratio here makes it very sporty. I like this leather on the handbrake, and also it has this red stitching over here which gives the car the sense of sportiness even further. So now it's time to drive this car and tell you exactly how it is. But now I want to show you the key. This is the key of the Mazda CX-5, which in my opinion looks like a flash drive. I mean, sure, you have a start-stop button and you have keyless entry and keyless go, but I have to tell you that the key is very interesting. Just look at it. So yeah, so time to drive the CX-5. Let me adjust the seat a bit, because well, perfect. Now let's go, because well, this is very interesting. As I mentioned, even though this car has 19-inch wheels, it doesn't feel rough. The suspension is firm, but it's not rough. It's quite elegant, and even when the roads are not good, the car is gonna behave very good. Now, one thing that I want to mention from the beginning is the fact that it feels sporty. It feels way much sportier than its competition. In some cases the Tucson feels more elegant than this one, but this one feels more sporty. Also, the Kia Sportage has some cool features as well, but if you want a sport crossover, I think this one is the one to get, because the gearbox feel much more sportier than the Tucson's and than the Kia Sportage as well. The steering wheel is precise. It's not that loose as the Tucson and the Sportage. I mean, it is assisted, but somehow feels more mechanical. Now, the seating position is good. It feels a little bit lower than the Tucson, but you are more down to earth in this one, and probably that's why it's giving the sense of sportiness even more. The engine is very capable. This 2.2 liter diesel engine is everything that you may want from it. You have 380 Newton meters and 150 horsepower, which I think it's enough. Probably if you would have had 200 horsepower on this one, that would have been a little bit insane. I mean, I can tune up this car and get like 200 horsepower, and then it's gonna be quite fun. The thing that is a major drawback on this car is the infotainment system. This is quite disappointing in my opinion. They could have done a way much better job with the infotainment system, but well, they have the pluses in other side. For example, the high quality materials. You have aluminium all over the car. You have this fake piano black on the dashboard. The leather is brilliant. This is high quality leather, so they didn't cheap out at this. In the competitors, you may find some cheap leather in some of them, but this one actually didn't cheap out. The isolation of the car is good. I think the Tucson is a little bit better isolated. I think the Toyota RAV4, which is a competitor with this one, that one doesn't exceed at this. The wind noise and road noise inside the car at more than 60 miles per hour, it's gonna be rough. So nope, that's a no. But well, you get what you get. But let's get back to the Mazda. You have cool features on it. You have cool sound system, which I mentioned earlier, and I have to tell you that I do like this car. Being my first time when driving one of these, especially the CX-5, I'm honestly very impressed with this car, even though it has some drawbacks like well, the dated gauge cluster with that dated screen over there, and this infotainment system. But other than that, this is a terrific car to have. So yes, I do recommend one of these cars. The isolation of the car is good, fuel consumption is good. Taxes are going to be a little bit high with this engine, but well, you get what you pay for. So that was it for this episode, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Press a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done this already, and I'll see you in the next episode. In the meantime, peace and blessings to all of you, and I shall see you soon.